And welcome back to European Racing Organization. We are slightly delayed here for the race in a very wet Zandvoort circuit. We are on full wet conditions as you can see. This is your host and commentator You Can Beat Me, and we will be bringing you all the live action for this weekend's racing in the F4 division of the European Racing League. As this is a wet session right now, I'm not sure how the race is going to be, but we are underway, and let's see how these drivers go across. As Mats right now is on a lap and it seems like he was improving, so let's follow on board with him in this absolutely pouring circuit. And what kind of lap time does he put in? He goes pole, he goes P1, and that is a good lap time of a 21.9 if I'm not wrong. So good lap from Mats right now with championship leader Jude Santi in P2, and I think this is a time of session where we will see a lot of drivers on the track trying to get comfortable with the conditions as much as they can and put in consecutive lap time. So they will be running a lot of race fuel on board. As you can see, Racing Yupt goes P1 now with a 21.4, so that's the pole position, or the provisional pole position rather, with 5 tenths in the margin. As Jude Santi will be the next one to cross the line. Does he improve? He does for 21.6. So we will see a lot of drivers on those lap times now. As there is, who else is on a lap right now? Is Adam Baker, who has just finished the lap, and this should be a good one, guys, considering the amount of racing which is possible here, firstly, and secondly, hang on, I'm just replying to a couple of comments. Yeah, so amount of racing on this track is a lot because of the kind of circuit layout there is, and secondly, it also is a track with very high downforce as well as undulation on the track. As Jimmy Hunt almost touched the wall there. Does he improve his time? He does. It's a 21.7 there. So good lap time from Jimmy in the Williams. Not having the best of seasons, I must say, but at the same time he is improving. Let's see if anyone else is on. His teammate Miyake is on a lap but not improving. He's down by 2 seconds. So let's follow someone else. Is Adam Baker on a lap? He is. He has just overshot that corner there, it seemed like, avoiding the curb totally, but he has put a second purple sector. So let's see what this lap time is going to be. He goes into the third gear and it looks almost like slow motion here. Can't really go full throttle yet. Now he will go full throttle, and now is he coming back in? He is coming back in. Probably didn't have enough fuel. Is Than Ace is on a lap, or is he coming in as well? He is coming in. So a lot of drivers probably after the first 7-8 minutes of running are actually coming in, as is Miyake. Is Murphy now going to come into the... Let's see, is Jimmy Hunt on a lap again? I don't think he is. Is Racing Gupta on a lap? He's down by a few seconds, so I'm not really sure if this is going to be an improvement, or yeah, it's down by a lot of time. So probably just coming back in. It takes a lot of curb there, the Ferrari driver, and I think this is Inter's condition now. Let me just quickly check the fitted tires, and yeah, you can see a few drivers already on the Inters. You can see the rain has reduced a little bit, and this is definitely time for Inters, as that's what probably Racing Gupta is thinking, as well as a few people have retired from the session. I'm not really sure what's happening there. Lot of retirements there. I don't know if that's in the pits, or not entirely sure why that is, but we see a lot of drivers who have retired, and that was a little strange to see, as this is the Alpha Tauri of Lexa, who is now on a lap right now. But I think this is definitely Inter's conditions, so we should see cars putting on those intermediate tires and coming back out on the track with almost 9 minutes to go in the session. Not sure if it will dry out enough for the slicks, but it is definitely Inter's time. So as you can see, Lex are still struggling with his grip around this track as to navigate some traffic. He is down by almost 6 seconds on this lap, so not really happening for him right now, as Robin now will be probably one of the first few drivers to put a lap on those intermediate tires. Is Skylar on a lap? Skylar is on an out lap, I believe. So let's follow Robin here and see what lap time he does. Here we go. Robin round the final corner in that McLaren, and before putting on the power he has to wait a little because you can't really take this corner flat out in full wet conditions. He goes through the start finish line. He goes P1 with a 20.9, so that's the confirmation. This is definitely Inter's time now, and that lap time will give that indication to a lot of drivers who are still on wets to put on a set of intermediate tires and put in competitive lap times. In terms of strategy, if it's a dry track, it should be a one stop, either mediums to hards or even softs to hards is possible if you're starting in the top 10. So track position is absolutely essential here, as it is a little bit hard to overtake, as Skylar goes P3 on those Inters. And let's see if anyone else is. Zaranat is on a set of hards, or rather full wets, as people are now exiting the pits, which will be. Lexa is still on a set of full wets. I think he will be coming in now because there's no point in going around this track on wet tires right now. So you can see the track from this perspective, and it is still raining, so I doubt it will stop raining or the track will be dry enough before the end of session. So I think the lap times we are seeing here right now could tumble down a little bit. Let's see if we can see someone in the 19s, as Robin goes fastest again with a 20.5. So he is really liking this particular conditions. As let's follow Racing Gupta here, who's on a lap right now, and he has put a purple sector, which is the first sector, as now he approaches the long back straight. It's not really long, but it's still a back straight nonetheless. Let's see what sector time he puts in. It's a purple again by 1.2 seconds, so this is turning out to be a good lap from him. He's able to navigate the next few corners, and the car ahead, if it doesn't prove much of a distraction, this could be a lap time from Racing Gupta. Let's see where he puts his car. It could be pole or provisional pole, and he does with a 19.7. So that's the first car in the 19s, and Skylar is still going around, so he will not complete his lap so far, as Jude Santi has started his lap, and JGT and Mats have put in competitive lap times as well. So the lap times are tumbling right now, as there was a Racing Point. Was it Cycle? It was Cycle. His Cycle, I'm not sure why he's allowing a lot of cars to pass through, but let's continue with Jude Santi here, and he is up by 3 tenths at the end of his first sector. But the second sector and the third sector are the places where these drivers will gain most of their time in these changeable conditions. So here goes Jude Santi now through that corner, which is difficult to navigate in dry and absolutely in the wets, because you want to get on the power early, but you run the risk of going wide there. But Jude Santi navigates it rather nicely. That was a nicely taken shaken there, and here he goes, the beautiful helicopter shot. Let's see where his lap time takes him in these intermediate conditions, because around the final corner now comes Jude Santi, and then Aces goes pole with, and then Jude Santi takes his pole with Racing Gupta just behind again, but that's a provisional pole for Jude Santi with 19.3. And can we see someone in the 18s here? I think it's very much likely we can, as Mats Husman goes now pole with a 19.3, and there's a Racing Point now crossing the line. That's probably Cycle who's starting his hot lap. It is Cycle who is starting his hot lap, so we will have to come back to him a little later. Is there? That's Luca Big no. Let's see if Luca puts his car. He is P9 for now. And is Miyagi on a lap right now? He is. So let's see where he ends up. He is P15, probably just starting his lap time. And there's a Renault, probably of Skyler, who is now rounding up the final corner. As he goes wide there, but he does not invalidate his lap time. So Skyler will finish the lap, or in fact he is peeling into the pits. Let's see. It's Racing Gupta on a lap. He is, and not really sure if there's an improvement on the lap time, but Racing Gupta is now coming in. He is coming in. So as things stand, it's Juice Santi on pole with just 3 tenths between him and Mats, who's now coming in back into the pits. So the drivers are waiting before they get one final run there, and it's Murphy now who is 5 tenths down on his lap. So a lot of drivers in the pits right now. Cycle goes P2. That's a good lap from Cycle, just 2 tenths away from Jude Santi, and he goes P2. So that's a good lap, and those are championship leaders behind one another on the front row. Is anyone on a lap here? Adam Baker is going slowly there in the first corner, or rather the final corner. Not really sure what happened there. There's a Alpha Tauri crossing the line, just starting a lap there. Is Robin on a lap right now? No, it's not, but it's Jimmy Hunt who has put a purple second sector, or rather first sector, and now he approaches this corner, which I don't have a name for. I'm not sure if the corner has a name, but here goes Jimmy Hunt and approaching the chicane there. He is up by 1.5 seconds, so this is turning out to be a good lap, and if he carries this advantage, he will be right up there, and he will be challenging those people on the front row. As Loki says hello. Hello Loki, hope you're enjoying the stream. As Jimmy Hunt almost loses it coming out of the final corner, but he keeps the car in one piece. Let's see what lap time he is. That's P4 with a 19.4, and Cycle goes pole. Meanwhile, is Jude Santi. I think that's Jude Santi's lap done. Is Racing UPT on a lap? He is. He's on an out lap, so he will have time to finish one lap. All is happening here, and with Jude Santi on in the pits, this could very well be a very good chance for the likes of Racing and Mats and Jimmy Hunt and the likes to probably put the championship leader in a bit of a trouble by sending him further down the grid. As Thanes, who was once on pole in the Alfa Romeo, is now on a lap. He's down by 300ths in the first sector, but he can gain a lot of time here. Let's see if he's able to do just that. So nicely done. Avoids the curbs completely there through that section, but this time he does take a lot of curb, but that will not really unsettle his car in these conditions where they are not really going at very high speeds. But here is Thanes now through the final corner, keeps it just within the white line to ensure, as Jimmy Hunt did slightly go on pole, but it was Cycle now, and here goes Thanes. Racing Group has retired from the session. Thanes goes P3. Jude Santi is done. Does Robin have any answer to that? He's almost out of shape coming out of that corner, and it could very well be a good lap time here from him. Is Skyler on a lap ahead of him? He is. So let's follow Skyler first and then Robin, since Skyler is on a lap right now, and let's see how much he's able to improve, if at all he's improving, as he completely loses it there. And it's going to be Robin now who will cross the line, and let's see what this lap time is going to be. He finishes in P7, so that was not really an improvement, and Skyler still on a lap. Is Lex on a lap right now? He is, but not really improving. So that's the grid for the race, is it? Or are Jimmy and... Oh, Jimmy is improving. So Jimmy is improving, and it could very well be that if he has enough time to gain in the third sector, this could be pole for him, as he goes as that's probably the same incident which happened with Skyler a few moments back, but that's Jimmy Hunt losing it on the final corner. So it will be Cycle who will be on pole in the Racing Point with Jimmy Hunt in P2, Zyron Knight in the McLaren in P3, Thanasis in P4, Jude Santi in P5. So that's the Alfa Romeo in P4 and P5. Mats in P6 at the Mercedes, Robin in P7, Racing UPT in P8, Miyake in P9, Murphy in P10. So that's your top 10. And remember, it probably is a dry race, so everyone will have free choice of tires. And I expect a lot of drivers to be on mediums for the start, to do a mediums to hards. We can probably even see people starting on hards to do a hards to mediums or a hards to softs as well. So should be an interesting race up ahead, and I hope the lobby is not glitched and we can get moving. Either way, I will just change my audio settings a little bit. I think the voice is too loud right now, so let me know if this is better. If you ride on board, I think the engine volume for the cars was a little bit too loud, but I think this should be better, as that's a confirmation from Racing Gupta that the race is dry. So interesting strategies will come into play, as that's a confirmation again of the top 10 drivers we went through. But starting P11 is JJT in the Mercedes, Skyler in P12, Luca Bigno in P13, Villeneuve in P14, Adam Baker in P15, Lexa Pro in P16, Slimicam in P17, Kedu in P18, and Endrod HD in P19. The last two drivers were not able to set a lap time in. Right, so we'll take a very short break here, and we will be back for the race, which will be starting in just a few moments after the formation lap. Right, so we are underway, and this is the moment of truth, guys. What are the tire choices for the drivers? Here it is on your screen. As you can see, top 3. Hello Tommaso. Tommaso is what Carlos Sainz used to call his engineer at McLaren, so I'm not sure if that's you, but anyway, it's the top 3 on mediums, then the Alfa Romeos on softs, Mats on mediums, Robin on softs, Racing Gupta, who has been disqualified from the formation lap, so he's sitting pretty on the grid on those medium tires, which will be cold by the time these guys come back onto the grid. Miyake and Murphy on softs, Skyler on mediums, as is JJT in P11, P13, P14 both on softs, P15, P16 Adam Baker and Lexa on mediums, Slimicam on softs, Keru, who has been disqualified as well, on hards. So only driver on hards is Keru, always with a different kind of a strategy which sometimes helps him in the race. He didn't win in France and Belgium, so I think if he wins this one from P18, He did win France from P14, I believe, or it was definitely outside the top 10. So he has this habit of pulling up surprise wins from the back of the grid. Let's see how his race turns out. But moving on, Androd and Funky, who are at the back of the grid on those soft tires. So as we thought it would be, it is a mix of strategies, tire strategies, and this would be a lot of fun going into the first few laps of the race, where soft tires will be faster than the medium tires. Either ways, if you like the content on this channel on a regular basis, do ensure that you subscribe to the YouTube channel and press the bell icon so that you never miss an update. We have 487 subscribers already, and if you haven't already subscribed, please do so we can reach 500 quickly and bring you more exciting races from this wonderful league. Either ways, I think we should be going soon, as there are 5 lights right now and 5 lights are off, and we're underway for the Zandvoort Grand Prix. As there's a Alfa Tauri, Alfa Romeo there, really good start from him, but it seems like the top 2 will be unchallenged, as there's a little bit of a contact between Miyake and Cycle there. I think it is Jimmy Hunt and Cycle. Yeah, that is Jimmy Hunt, who is in P2, so it has glitched already somewhat, the leaderboard. But Zyron in P3 making a good start, as there's a 5-second penalty. There's a safety car. That is a safety car, and has someone lost a lot of positions there? I'm not 100% sure, but there is a safety car, and there's 5-second penalties being dished out all around. Is that Androd who's behind? No, it's not. So is that Skylar who has missed out? No, it's not. I don't understand why there's a safety car, as Funky seems to be fit and fine as well. So this is really confusing. I'm not really sure why a safety car has been deployed, but either ways, we have a safety car and we have a lot of penalties here. Let's have a look at penalties. There you see 6 drivers already with 5-second penalties, and let's see if anyone's pitting from the top guys. I don't think people will unless they have damage. So Jimmy Hunt stays out, so does Cycle. So is anyone going in actually? Yeah, there's a Mercedes. That's probably Matt's who has come in, and so is the Renault. It's just JJT, sorry, not Matt's, who has come in, and I think these are people trying to serve those 5-second penalties so that they don't have to serve it under green flag conditions in a pit stop. So that is a little smart there, as Keiru has now jump from those hard tires to a set of mediums, and he would be hoping to go long in the race again, as he usually does up front. So it's only Miyake right now in that Williams in P11 who has not pitted, and one might wonder if that is the correct decision, because now he will have to pit under green flag conditions if there is no safety car, and will lose those 5 seconds as a result. But either ways, in terms of positions gained, let's have a look. It is Androd who has gained a maximum of 6 positions. It's starting P19 and is P13 right now, and people like JJT, Skylar and Will now have lost 5 positions each. And so this will go on for a while. I think the safety car will not come in at the end of this lap. It will go around for one more lap before it comes into the pits, and then Cycle, Jimmy Hunt and Zaran Knight can battle for the lead as well. Yeah, so people watching, let me know your predictions for this race. I know it's a little late because we already have a safety car, but not a lot has changed up front in terms of starting positions, and Miyake now does pit, so he makes that call to pit and serve that 5-second penalties. But what predictions do you guys have for the podium here today? as Miyake and Villeneuve both were pitting and both are coming out now, so they will be dead last. Right, here we go. We don't have a confirmation yet, but we will soon. And safety car should be coming in at the end of this lap. Miyake and Villeneuve have caught up to the back of the pack. So anytime now we should be having a confirmation about safety car coming in. We follow the cycle and that's the confirmation bottom left. Safety car is coming in, so cycle now becomes the de facto safety car, and it is he who controls the pace and decides when they should go racing again. It should not be before the safety car actually comes into the pits, so cycle has to be careful about that so as to not cause a confusion. As you can see, the drivers weaving on the track to ensure there's enough track temperature or tire temperature on those laps, as still not going, as cycle is waiting until the last possible moment, which is smart because he doesn't want the people behind him to lose or use that slipstream. As now cycle has gone as a retirement already. That's Android who has retired, not sure what happened there. So has Funky. Android has retired, and up front it is all fine here. I don't think there is any loss of positions there. Skeru has overtaken the real Adam Baker, and Slimmy has overtaken Racing Up. We're following Jude Santi's teammate here in Thanasis. I think this is his first time racing in F4 this season, so let's see how he gets around. But up front is this Zyron Knight, who is giving Jimmy Hunt a tough time here, and he is really putting on the pressure to get in front of the Williams driver. Is behind. It's Keru, last time's winner and consecutive winner, who is challenging the winner in Monza, which is Racing Gupta, and this is going to be a good battle. As well as behind them it is Adam Baker and JGT who were fighting, but as we see it's Jude Santi who has gone past Mats in the McLaren. So Jude Santi will now be directly behind his teammate unless Mats can fight back. So let's see what Mats does now. Is he on the right? He is. Is he going to go for a dive bomb? He doesn't, and stays behind for now. You can see behind him it is Murphy who is going to make that move. Is he going to make that move? I think he is. He has the inside line for this corner, and you can see behind a lot of battling happening here as there are cars all around, and it's really difficult to keep up, as Slimmy is now getting involved and is overtaking a Red Bull of Luca there, with Racing UPT just behind, and following all the live action is Keru as well from behind. So this is a huge train of cars which will be difficult to get around, as that's Racing who has lost a position because of that little moment he had, and now he is under threat. He's not under threat, but he is actually threatening Keru there, and he will be hoping to get as this a little bit of a contact between the Red Bull and Slimmy up ahead, but I don't think if there was any damage. We'll have to see. But up front it is Luca now who's on the back of Slimmy and this again could be an overtake which is coming our way, as behind it is Skyler who's making a move on real Adam Baker, and Keru now is hoping to get past Luca who almost touched him. So this is getting a little heavier here, as Zyron Knight is now behind, is still behind, or rather he lost a position to Dhanesis there. So Zyron Knight is now between two Red Bulls, or rather two Alfa Romeos, and what a race this has been so far. It's only been 3 laps of racing, but look how close the cars are. Miyake pulls a move on Lexa for P16, so they still have some time to catch up before they can actually challenge the top guys. But look at this train here of cars. It is so many cars at once as Miyake puts off another move on JGT for P15. So Miyake is really fast right now, and he's making good use of those medium tires who seem to be working better than the softs maybe. As look at this train of cars as Zan and Knight tries to go round the outside of 10 aces and might not make it straight, but he does. He almost stays behind for now, and Jude Santi is now fending off at this. Was that a front wing of someone who? I think that was fronting of someone. Yeah, it is. So Jude Santi has lost a position to a car there, that is Murphy. And is Jude Santi having? Does he have damage here right now? No, I don't think he does. But this is absolute fighting as Jude Santi goes for a move. That's a great move on the inside, but he will not have the position because Murphy will fight back. But what is going on here? Look at this, guys. Look at this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 or 9 cars, as it's absolute mayhem here. And it's Max who has lost a lot of positions through that corner, and that was a real shame as Slimicam has lost positions as well. Is Luca losing position or is getting overtaken by someone? Oh, I just can't keep up with this, guys. I'm sorry. I don't think even Martin Brundle can keep up with this. Up front, it's Jude Santi who has stayed out on those soft tires and is now going to make a move rather on Murphy in the Haas. As behind, look at this, guys. Just look at how close everyone is. And I haven't raced a lot on this track, but maybe that's one of the features of this track, that everyone is so close and we can get battles all around and on every lap of the race. As Racing Gupta in P8 on those medium tires is doing well so far. He had a couple of mistakes which probably lost him a place or two, but he's doing fine for now as he is behind. Look up, is he going for a move right now? He closes the door, does Luca there, and he goes wide, and Racing Gupta loses another position as Skylar goes through 2 cars at once, and this is really frustrating for Racing Gupta here. Let's see if he goes for a move this time around. I think it will be relatively easy using his DRS, and let's see if he's able to keep it down the inside. He doesn't want to touch that curb much, but he is going to get that place, so he is up into P8 now, the position which he wanted, but he also lost a position to Skylar at the same time. As behind it is Slimicam, who is all out of sorts coming out of the hairpin and has lost 3 positions there. So what has been this race so far? It's been 9 laps and I'm already out of breath, and we still are only 25% of the race underway, as it's Mats and Miyake who are battling, and this is the battle for P10 right now as Adam Baker goes on the inside of JJT and makes that move sticks. And as Rado says, yeah, that is probably the most exciting race at Zandvoort. I'm not really sure if any race at Zandvoort can top this, and you can see by the way I have to switch between drivers here because there is just so much going on here. As behind it is Villeneuve who is going to make a move, but we can't. Let's see if there's any battles right now. No, we don't. Here is Adam and JGT. They touch a little bit, but no damage there. As Slimicam gets a 5-second penalty for speeding in the pit lane, so that's a shame. As up front, look at the gap. It is just 2:10, so we will have to switch to the leadership battle because it is Jimmy Hunt now putting the pressure on Cycle there. So let's see if we have a battle for the league here. It's for the behind it Slimicam. That's who's that? Is that Adam Baker? It is. So Adam has been punted there, and he has lost a lot of positions, as well as probably his front wing is up front. I don't think there is a move on the cards here right now. I think Jimmy is too far right now to make a move onto this lap, so we'll turn attention to Racing Gupta and Skylar, and this is a battle which might give some action. Here goes Racing Gupta, he's going for it, he is going for it in the car 15, and that was definite contact between the two drivers, and Skylar does keep ahead for now. Behind it is JJT, who is between Mats and Miyake, and let's see if Mats and JJT can play the team game here and ensure that the Williams does not get past. Up front, the gap has really decreased now, as this is Jimmy Hunt on cycle, and while he did have DRS last time around as well, let's see if he's able to put a good third sector here and ensure that he is right on the back of cycle the next time they are around the main straight. And Slimicam has retired, that's in the pit lane, that is definitely in the pit lane, so not anything. I don't think it will trigger any safety car or a VSC, but it seems like that cycle has a really good run out of the final corner, which is why he is able to stay ahead for consecutive laps. As behind it's Racing Gupta now, this time around, this time he will make a move on Skylar, who will not be able to prevent the Ferrari driver going in front of him. But here is Murphy now, who is challenging Thanasis, so he is in actually an Alfa Romeo sandwich. Here is Murphy in the Haas, and he is making real inroads in this race so far. It's 11 laps gone already, but it seems like it's already been yesterday since we saw the race start. As behind is JJT on a move, he is on Luca Bino. Is he going for a move here? I think that would be a little optimistic or dangerous to go for a move there, but he runs into the back of Luca Bigno, almost ran into the back of him, but saved it nicely. I don't think there was any damage there, but he is going to make life very difficult for Luca in the next few laps. As behind, Robin Greaves makes a position on Adam Baker, and what a race this is turning out to be, as Miyake in P12 is on the medium tires, so he doesn't really need to fight this soft runners so much. He knows that he will have track position and probably the better strategy come the end of the race. As Murphy now is again on the back of Thanasis, so this is something which is not really working out, as Miyake has overtaken JJT. So JJT, while he was trying to put Luca under pressure, has been overtaken by Miyake on those medium tires. I think this is probably the time of the race where medium tires will be faster than the softs. And what's happening up front, these guys are still battling, and I don't think it's really working out right now, as Murphy now is really on the back of Thanasis, but he is also being chased by Jude Santee, so he has to make a decision quickly here. I think this is around the pit lap window, so if he wants to get out of this battle, get some free air and get some track position, it wouldn't be the worst idea in the world. Let's see if any of them peel into the pits, because Jude Santee will definitely go on, as all of them go on. So as Adam is on a set of inters. Okay, that's something which I don't understand. He's on a set of intermediate tires. I don't think it's raining, is it? No, I don't think it's raining. I think that's just a unfortunate judgment from him, as this is now for the final few positions on the grid, as Robin goes through Lexa and he is through, as Murphy again on the back of Thanasis. Thanasis is doing really good job of holding up Murphy all the time. As I can see rain, yeah, that's spots of rain, but Adam Baker has gone too early there. There's definitely rain, and Murphy is on the back of Thanasis, but he's still not able to get through. So I can definitely see spots of rain from the onboards, so we won't be far enough from some rainy conditions, and this would really help out the soft tire runners, because the tires must be screaming right now, and they would have wanted to pit maybe right about now, as is still on board with Jude Santee, and he is still behind these two, but I don't think he minds as long as he is able to keep up with the cars up front. As Miyake now is putting a move on the Red Bull, and he is through. So Miyake, after being dead last when the safety car actually came in, has climbed up to P10, so that's a good recovery drive from him, as Racing Gupta is now joining this battle for P4. So that's 5, is it 5 cars? That's 4 cars. It is 5 cars actually. That's Murphy, Jude Santee, Keru, Racing Gupta and Thanasis, who are actually battling for the final position on the podium right now, and it won't be long. Look at this, 5 cars behind one another, and I think it's high time Murphy make this move stick. If he doesn't make this move stick, as look at him go, it is Murphy this time, and he doesn't really need even half the race. Is Jude Santee going to make 2 moves here? Let's see if he does. But this is Murphy right now, who is trying to get past, but he won't get past now, and this will this invite Jude Santee into the race. But no, Murphy is past, and behind it is absolute mayhem here, as the rain, I don't think it's definitely raining right now, but it is not raining enough for Interstats, as Adam Baker has decided to stick it out on those intermediate tires, as but I don't think it's still raining right now, as this is Jude Santee now going on a move, but it's Keru who has moved. So Jude Santee was pinched into the apex of that corner, and Keru has gone past. So this is a good move from Keru, the last race's winner, and it's Racing Gupta who's now making a move on Jude Santee as well. Jude Santee losing a lot of positions there in spite of being behind those faster cars for too long and seem like the faster driver, but this is Racing Gupta who will now be hoping to get ahead of Thanasis there. Absolutely mayhem here, and oh, that's a mistake. That is a mistake. Both the Haas drivers into the pits as Mats makes a move on Skyler, but that's both the Haas drivers into the pits. Look at Jude Santee just waiting there to be serviced, and is he putting on a set of mediums? He is putting on a set of mediums. So absolute disaster for Alfa Romeo. And any more battles we have right now? I think the only one we have is Keru on, rather it's Racing Gupta who is on the back of Keru, but the Alfa Romeos have double stacked, and that's something I'm not able to understand, as Jude Santee was behind Thanasis, so he would have seen Thanasis come into the pits and probably should have gone on for one more lap, but either ways they're back out now, and we're following this battle for P4 right now, as Murphy on those soft tires. He's 16 lap old soft tires. I don't know how he's still going, and I don't know how he still doesn't have a puncture. As is Jimmy on a move? No, he's not. But as JJT has retired, is that a safety car now? As Racing Gupta tries to make a move round the outside, but does he make it stick? He does, so he is through in P3. But JJT, how did he retire? That's yeah, he retired in the second sector, and that is really weird to see. As I see a lot of support for Mats here. I'm assuming that's Mats Huseman in the Mercedes, and it is raining, Rado. I see your question. It is raining right now. You can see from the onboards it is raining, but it's not raining enough to put on a set of intermediate tires. That's how I would term this, but I think it has gotten a little heavier than what it was a couple of laps back. As here is Jimmy Hunt again, and these guys are now coming to lap Adam Baker, who is Cycle's teammate in the racing point, and that shows how much of wrong call was it from Adam, who is still sticking it out on those interiors. But I think it will be still a couple of laps before they can actually start working, as Murphy has put a move past Zyron Knight. He goes into P8, and thankfully not a lot of penalties so far. It's only 5 seconds for Zyron Knight, which I think would have been either under safety car or maybe for speeding into the pit lane, as Villeneuve now is chasing Miyake. So Villeneuve on those hard tires, as Horseman says that he might win the race. I'm not too sure right now because those tires have already done 15 laps, and with 16 more laps to go, 17 more laps to go, I'm not really sure if those hard tires can go 17 laps, because there are drivers as up front. The gap is really decreasing right now, but oh, that Cycle who has completely lost it coming out of the first corner, but he almost loses it. That's a really good save. That is a really good save from Cycle. He almost lost it, but he has just about held it, and it's Zarenat who's coming into the pits now. Let's see what tires is he going on. Is going on a set. Is serving his 5 seconds firstly. What is he going to do next? That's a set of hard tires is going on. Is it hards? Oh, that's a really slow pit stop from Zyron, but it's a set of mediums rather, not hards. So I don't think anyone believes it's, except for Adam of course, I don't think anyone believes it is wet enough for inters right now, as Murphy has caught up to the back of Villeneuve and Miyake right now, and let's see if he is able to make use of those fresh tires, as Murphy is already through. Murphy is through and he is now catching Miyake. So Murphy was behind Villeneuve, or rather he was. Let's see what they do. Oh, that's really close there, as he was almost pushed into the pit lane. There was Murphy, but he is through now and he is going to the end of the race. So Murphy in a really good position here. He is 10 seconds behind Skeru, who is yet to pit and who's now challenging Mats for P4. Sorry, I had to turn off my mic there, but the battle for the lead is still going, and these guys have gone on for 20 laps, and I think they will be pitting for a set of softs at the end of this trend. As you can see, it's still raining here, but it is not enough, I believe, for a set of intermediates, as Jimmy Hunt pits. So Jimmy Hunt is into the pits, so that has probably triggered Cycle as well, who will be pitting on the next lap, and that brings Racing Gupta into P2, and he has all the goods now to probably make this strategy work. But let's see where Jimmy Hunt actually comes out. He comes out in P5, so that's a really good position for him, and he will have free air before now Keru, who is now on the back of Mats, who is getting a lot of support in comments here today. Let's see what Keru can do to trouble the Mercedes driver, as we will keep an eye out on Cycle and Racing Gupta, who are in P1 and P2 right now, and would have noticed the pit stop from Jimmy Hunt, so they would be hoping to make a pit stop this time around, as Keru now is right on the back of Matt's, and with both of them also yet to pit and also hoping to go on those soft tires. Let's see if this is going to be an overtake on the track or maybe in the pit stop. As Matt's, is he pulling into the pits? He is. So Keru will stay out. That's sensible. As Cycle is having a, that's Racing Gupta having a wing change, so that has really ruined his race. But here is Cycle now, who is exiting the pits and who is behind Jimmy Hunt. So Cycle has lost a position because of that undercut by Jimmy Hunt, and what a strategy it has been with just one lap newer tires. I'm not 100% sure if he can catch up and actually overtake Jimmy Hunt here, but Murphy is also in the mix, and let's see what Keru does now, because he was in a pit stop battle with Jimmy Hunt. As Racing Gupta is now behind Skyler because of that wing change. He lost a lot of time, and Skyler has a 3-second penalty now. Let's see what Racing Gupta can do to challenge the guys up ahead. As yeah, watch, it is the most confusing weather ever, but if you ride on board with some of these people, you will know that. Hang on a sec, there's an overtake incoming. That's Racing Gupta into P7. Is Keru pitting now? He is pitting, so Keru is pitting, and that's Racing Gupta, who is now behind his teammate, who will not make it difficult for him at all because they are on completely different strategies. But as I was saying, if you ride on board with these people, you will know that while it is confusing, but it is pretty clear that it is not Inter's time. But that is Racing Gupta who's making moves, and he's into, as it was Miyake who just leapt out of the way. And where has Keru come out? He has come out. Look at this cars now. Keru has come out. Oh my god, this is just first stint all over again. And oh my god, this is a battle for P5 cars. The battle for P5 with 5 cars. That's Matt's making a move on Skyler. And is anyone going to dive bomb there? That's Keru who's trying a dive bomb but will not work, and both of them are in the wall. And that's Keru who has retired. That's a real shame, coming just out of the pits. Sorry, I'm getting excited here, but this is Matt's now. Is that a VSC? Yes, it is a VSC. And is it going to help anyone? Is Miyake going to pit now? Or is Villeneuve going to pit now? They can very well pit here and go to the end of the race on those soft tires. But that was unfortunate, as our race winner from last 2 races has retired, and there's a VSC which will stay out and which will help Murphy and Miyake and Skyler. Skyler rather is staying out. And wow, so the VSC, and we have only 15 drivers in the running right now. 5 people have DNF'd, and it's interesting that Villeneuve did not come in. That's a little interesting. Is he hoping to go to the end on this race? Miyake has a drive-through. That is a real shame. Miyake has a drive-through penalty as VSC is now in. So we have green flag conditions, but it is Villeneuve who's losing positions because of those hard tires. It's really strange that decision to not come in, and it is Skyler who's just behind him, who's also probably hoping to get past the Ferrari driver. As behind it is Siren Knight, who's trying to make a move on Lexa here, who should be making a move, and Lexa does stay ahead for now, but let's see. Yes, Siren Knight has that position, but behind it is Villeneuve, who is still ahead right now, but on those hard tires I don't know whether he'll be able to keep this pace up till the end. So that is something which remains to be seen, as Jude Santi is getting really close to his gearbox behind, and Jude Santi will be hoping to make up this place, especially since his championship leader is running P2 right now. Is Jude Santi making a move? That's a little bit of a contact there, and he is through now. As there's wing flank, that is Jude Santi with wing damage, so that is unfortunate. And it is Murphy now who is attempting a move on Will now, but he will have to stay behind for now. And yeah, he does stay behind for now, as Robin is now just behind Thanasis, who was running really well in the first stint but has dropped a few places in the second stint. And behind it's Murphy now, who is going to make a move on Jude Santi, so this should be an easy one. And if he has noticed the wing damage of Jude Santi ahead, he will be making move on the championship leader as well. As look at him, absolutely flying there is Murphy. He had a good first stint also, and that wing damage is not really helping Jude, is it? As here he goes. Is he even going to wait until the next DRS zone? He will have to, because of the nature of the crap. But here we go. Lexa is into the pits. Is he going on a set of mediums here? I don't think he is, but it is getting wetter here, guys. So not really sure if this is the correct conditions, but here is Murphy now. He is on the outside and he brakes late and he gets the move done, but he goes in deep into the corner and will now lose the position probably to Villeneuve as well. No, he doesn't, but he has lost all time and momentum to Jude Santi up ahead. So going a little in too deep has cost him a chance to overtake the Alfa Romeo driver. Now it's Will now who's on the back, but he will stay behind. So let's follow this battle now for P11, as Thanasis and Robin are at loggerheads again. And let's see if this time around we are able to see an overtake from the McLaren. Yeah, probably too far behind for this lap, but he will be putting in some pressure on the next lap, as Murphy has really caught up to Jude Santi again. Has he? Yeah, he has, because of that wing damage which Jude Santi has. So Murphy will be hoping this time around to make a clean move, probably into turn 1, so that there is no further problems. As Thanasis and Robin are battling, they swapped positions a couple of times, but Robin is still behind, as Murphy now is not even waiting for the final corner or on the main straight. He has made his way through, as there's a Red Bull who is being lapped right now. And does he make it move? He does, but it's Jude Santi who has lost it. I think there was definite contact there, and Jude Santi has lost a lot of time there. I don't know if he has further damage there, but that is unfortunate. He was trying to, yeah, Villeneuve has gone past, so Jude Santi has lost quite a lot of time there and might have further damaged his wing. As you can see, the rain, it's still raining, but it's just on that edge where it's not intermediate conditions and it's not dry conditions either. So I doubt, as I see the comments, I don't think we will get full wet weather. I don't think we will get intermediate weather as well. As let's ride on board with Robin once again, as these guys are making their way through the track for the 30th time this race, and Robin has been stuck behind the Alfa Romeo for quite a few laps now. So let's see if he's able to finally make a move on Thanasis. I'm assuming that's how he pronounced his name. We'll have to ask him later on Discord whether if that's true. Jude Santi is pitting now, and that is unfortunate because that might just put him out of points here. He still can just come out and ahead of Thanasis. We'll have to see, because he has a wing change to do. So let's see as we ride on board with these guys. And Robin has lost momentum coming out of the final corner, but it is Jude Santi will, yeah, he is coming out ahead as Robin almost loses it. But yeah, Jude Santi is ahead, so that's good for him. And at all the time, it is Lexa who has absolutely stealthily who has crept up there. So this is a 3-car battle where Adam Baker is retired in the second sector. And are we going to see a safety car? We are. So that's a safety car. That is safety car. So this is what you wanted, Horseman. And we have got a safety car here. And this is really unfortunate for the race leaders. We had a really good lap, or a good gap rather, and Villeneuve is pitting, so good for him. He has to pit now, as we see other drivers in the pits as well. That was Luca Bigno in the pits. So Villeneuve is on a set of soft tires here, and Miyake is pitting as well. Jude Santi, I'm assuming, will stay out, but I don't know if he will gain any positions because of that. So in this very dark and gloomy race, we finally have a safety car, and this is going to be really interesting here, as we have an update from F5 here that some championship leader probably ruined his race or something. We'll have to check it out later, watch, because we cannot really give our attention to anything else. This race has been such as this. Oh my god, I think there was a wing flying, as Thanasis gets a 5-second penalty for collision under safety car. Probably so does Robin. Yeah, both of them have that 5-second penalty. That's a real shame. There was contact under the safety car, as Skyler has now pitted, and he gets a 5-second for speeding under the pit lane. He's going on a soft. He is going on the soft tires. So I don't know how many laps we'll have. Look at the field. If you look at the track map on the right, you can see that the field is absolutely spread. So I don't know how many laps of green flag racing we are going to have this time around. Probably just 2 or 3 laps. I'm not 100% sure. As you can see, a lot of drivers are yet to catch up. So this should be interesting to see when the safety car actually comes in. Definitely not on this lap, but does it come in at the end of next lap? I don't think even then people will be able to join in, as Robin has pitted for a set of medium, so that's a little strange. And the Anesis is staying out on those on those medium tires rather, in P11, who's behind Jude Santi, who is in P10. Not a good race for Jude Santi this time around, and while he still has 1 point to his name, he will be hoping to make use of this safety car restart, and with the pack bunching up, to ensure that he gets more than just 1 point from this race so far. Skylar has pitted and he has come out in P6. He has a penalty which I think was a 5-second penalty for speeding in the pit lane, and he has another 3-second time penalty. So this safety car will really hurt his race, because there's a very good chance he will be out of points here. In terms of stops, you can see all the top 4 on just one stop strategy so far, and they will not be making any more stops, with Murphy with 2 stops, Tyler making 3 stops. A lot of people having stopped thrice in this race, and this should be interesting to see how, as it seems like it's not really dried up, so you can still see the spray coming out of the tires. So it is not dried up, and this will add to the drama in the final few laps, because you will have colder tires, and what this will do is not give enough confidence to the drivers, and we might see more mistakes from people, especially at the front of the pack, because tension running high. Cycle, has he lost it? No, it's behind for now. It seemed like he lost a position somewhere. But is behind for now. Is safety car coming in? I don't think so. So we are waiting for Robin, is it? Yeah, we are waiting for Robin to catch up. But it seems like safety car will go on for one more lap. So we will have just 2 laps of racing. And I'm really looking forward to this one. For 15 people watching right now, any predictions for podium? We can see the top 5 don't have any penalties so far, and they're all on those soft tires, so no real strategy advantage to be had. As Skylar and Murphy, what's happening here? I think there was a momentary change of position, but it's fine now. But yeah, as behind, so a lot of position changes going on under the safety car. And Thanasis probably was behind Lexa for a moment, but he has returned to his correct position right now. But we have 13 of the 14 drivers on soft tires, with only Thanasis staying out on those mediums. So the pack has bunched up now, and we should be seeing the safety car coming in at the end of this lap, which will then give way to green flag racing and a lot of excitement for the final 2 laps of this race in Zandvoort, which I think has probably been the most chaotic race I have commentated on. I believe especially the first few laps and the whole first stint rather, the cars were so near to each other. It was really difficult to keep up with all the battles which were going around, and it was a little chaotic, or it was very chaotic in the first stint. And I think that's how we are going to end, because confirmation is here, safety car is coming in. So hang on to your seats, we will see a absolutely fireworks in terms of a grand finale here. And as Jimmy Hunt does not really care about tire temperatures right now, let's see when he decides to go. Has he already gone? I don't think so. He's still waiting until the safety car actually comes into the pits. He cannot go before that, as safety car is nearing the pits. Now you can see the driver, and this is where he can go. Let's see if he actually goes. He does. So Jimmy Hunt is gone, and you can see all the 14 cars on the same piece of track right now, as no real, as there's a Haas absolutely going in front. Was that Jules Santi? No, it was not. It was probably Murphy. Yeah, it was Murphy who was. As Skylar has, Miyake has retired. Miyake has retired in the session. That's a real shame. And behind is Jules Santi, who's making a lot of positions here. And up front, it's the top 3 still within those positions, as actually there's a Red Bull of Luca who's a lap down and actually not able to get out of the way of this leading pack. So it seems that apart from Miyake and Murphy, I think not a lot of positions have changed here, as we're riding with Skylar on this beautiful, as there's a, let's ride on board with Jules Santi here, as he can see 2 cars up front who are battling right now. And here is Jules Santi now. He can see those championship points in the bag for other drivers. He will want to ensure that he takes, but he is really lacking straight line speed here. It seems as Zyron tries to go for a move on Will. Now here Jules Santi rides the curb a little bit, the curb which you want to avoid for now, and he stays in front, as that's, was it Lexa? Yeah, it was Lexa. What a move from Lexa on Jules Santi, and these guys are going hammer and tongs here. Jules Santi, instead of getting a position, has lost a position there, as there's a lot of, oh, that's Robin who has lost it. And that's unfortunate, as up front the battle for the lead is now probably not going to happen, as this is the last lap of the race. It seems like it will be Jimmy who will win it, but that's Racing Gupta on cycle. He almost got the move done, but that was a little bit too aggressive maybe for him, as Murphy gets a penalty. As behind, I can see that no real changes in positions. It is going to be Jimmy who wins the race. What a race this has been from him. Cycle in P2, Racing Gupta in P3, Max in P4, Villeneuve in P5, Zyron in P3, with Lexa across the finish line in P7, Jude Sant in P8. Robin does finish in P9 as the wings absolutely flying. What a race this has been, guys. And let's see if we have enough time for podium interviews right now. But what a race this has been. As Jimmy Hunt wins the race, and let's see, we will have to wait a little before we can get these guys into the party. So it's Jimmy, Cycle and Racing Gupta who are actually on the podium. Mats in P4, Villeneuve in P5, Zyron in P6, Lexa P7, Jude Santi, an okay recovery for him after the safety car in P8. Robin in P9 had a lot of battles. Skyler in P10, Thanasis in P11, Murphy, who got really unlucky at the safety car restart, in P12. Luca Bigno was lapped in P13. So those were the only 13 finishers. The non-finishers you can see on your screen were Miyake, Adam Baker, last race winner Keru in P16, who was DNF this time around, JGT, Slimican, Androd and Funky GL. Right, so please bear with us as we are trying to get people in our party and have a bit of right. Let's see if these guys can join us for a bit of race interviews, and we get to hear their thoughts on the race, which was very, very crazy. Yeah, Racing Gupta is here. And let's start with you, Racing Gupta. You finished P3 after starting P8 in a track which was very difficult to overtake on, and with these changeable conditions. So how was your race, and how was the weather, first of all? Racing Gupta, can you hear me? Yeah, just ensure that your party settings have always allow in terms of your audio sharing. Cycle, you can do the same before we come to you, and I'm not sure if Jimmy can also join us, so we'll have to wait for him. Yeah, but Racing Gupta, your thoughts on the race? Okay.
changed my settings.
Yeah, congratulations on the podium and walk us through your race, please.
Yeah, the qualifying was good at the beginning, but yeah, at the end I just crashed out, so I could not set a good lap. Then yeah, did start well. I guess I started P8, went to P12 or P13, but then yeah, overtook a lot of cars. It was fun. That was fun, and eventually I was able to catch the top two. I thought these guys was like 8 seconds ahead of me, and when we pitted, I was just a second behind them. So yeah, I got close to them, and then in the pit lane at the entry, cycle had a really slow pit entry, and it broke my front wing. So I lost a lot of positions in the pit lane too. So yeah, that's what happened. But yeah, a podium at the end, so that's a good weekend.
Right, we did see you change your wing in the pit lane, so we thought that probably it was for some battle somewhere around the track.
No,
But
no,
that's
no.
interesting to know
Cycle
that
just
you.
had a too slow of a pit lane entry. So yeah, I got a red front wing, so it had to be changed.
Right, lucky for you that you were able to change it in that pit stop, and it was not a very late call for the team to change your front wing. Nevertheless, good race from
Yeah.
you, and all the best for the next race around. Sickle,
Cheers,
are you
man.
in the party?
Yes, I am.
How was your race, and how did it feel when you were overtaken via an undercut from Jimmy Hunt?
Um, I had a good race. Of course, it felt bad when he overtook me, but I kind of knew it when he pitted before me. I had about 70% tire wear on some of my mediums, so I knew it would be a slow lap. But he was quicker anyway, so it was just a matter of time before he would catch me. He did a great job. Of course, shout out to Jimmy and shout out to you racing up.
Right, and fantastic job there keeping Jimmy Hunt behind for so long in the first stint
Yeah.
of the race, because he was within DRS for consecutive laps, but you were still able to keep ahead of him. So, do you think that was just a setup thing? Because we were seeing that you were getting a really good run out of the final corner, and that prevented him from making a move into turn one.
Yeah, maybe it was a setup thing. Me and my teammate Adam Baker, we did some practice before the race, and it was clear that it's really difficult to overtake on this track. So I just thought, as long as I get a good exit out of the last corner, then I would be good. And it kind of worked out, I guess. But I think if we drove 3 more laps, then racing up would have catched me as well. So I'm just happy with the second place.
Right, and you would also be happy to know that your championship rival Jude Santee finished in P8,
Oh yes.
so that would be only 4 points for him in the bag.
Yeah.
And with four races to go after this one, I think it's still anyone's to get the championship.
Yeah, me too, me too. Of course, big shout out to Santi, always a gentleman and always texting me good luck and GG's and all of that. So shout out to him, and of course shout out to the guys back at the factory. We couldn't do it without them.
Right, a good race from you as well. Unfortunately for your teammate who had to retire from the race, probably just spun out or something. He was in fact the first person, or rather the only person to go out on inters, because these
Yeah,
were very tricky conditions. But either ways, I hope he will come back soon.
yeah. You
And
just wait. You just wait. Adam Baker got some real fucking pace, during the last stint of the season, he's going to be a bit of a problem. So you guys just wait.
absolutely, we are counting on him. We saw his stint in Monaco where he went 38 laps on those mediums. I will never forget that stint and that pace which he showed. So, hoping
No.
on him to cause some trouble for the guys up ahead. But nevertheless,
Yeah.
congratulations, Sickle, again. And
Thank you.
from the comms box, that's it for this weekend, guys. I hope you enjoyed that very, very exciting Dutch Grand Prix. And when these drivers watch it back, they will realize how much I had to shuffle because of the battles which were going on all around the track. But that being said, that's it from this weekend. Tune in for F3 and F2 tomorrow, and the F1 race on Sunday. And for the F4 division, we will see you next week in Silverstone, and that should be a really good race as well. So take care of yourselves, stay home, get vaccines when you can, and take care of yourselves. Good night and goodbye.